We're all familiar with the tailwinds behind the lithium sector. Many of the ASX Lithium stocks have become household names over the past couple of years as they've broken out. It's been a really fascinating period. We know that the EV adoption is just starting to pick up pace, and consequently lithium demand only continues to rise as well. I know there's many different names that have really become shining lights of the sector, and AVZ Minerals is another one that's really continued to soar. ASX AVZ has seen its market cap rise above that 2 billion mark. They've got a world-class resource. It's actually the world's largest undeveloped hard rock resource in the world. And along with that as well, they've got a range of different upcoming near-term catalysts that's attracting a lot of ASX investor interest in the ASX AVZ story. Today, we're going to unpack it all. We'll talk about their resource. We'll talk about their recent Cornerstone investment into the company. We'll talk about the different opportunities that investors are looking at with AVZ. And then we'll talk about the near-term catalyst that's attracting a lot of attention, particularly as the lithium sector and the broader EV battery materials sector continues to run hot. If you do enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button. Feel free to share it out. If you're new here, welcome. We make daily videos each and every day, so if you haven't yet, make sure you've subscribed. Turn your bell notifications on as well so you won't miss any of our daily episodes. You'll be updated every time we drop a new one. So I guess before we dive into the specifics surrounding the AVZ story and all of the recent news flow surrounding AVZ Minerals, it makes sense for us to take a step back and just try to conceptualize the scale of the Manono Project. The Manono Project is both a lithium and tin project. It's located in the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo in Africa. But if you have a look here on this comparable basis, AVZ's project is absolutely phenomenal, both in terms of scale, but it's actually a high-grade resource as well, in and around that 1.6% mark. It's really fascinating when you look at AVZ's Manono project on a comparable basis versus one of Pilbara's projects or Matt Holland, which is owned by Wesfarmers and of course is considered a world tier resource. You can see that Manono really stands out, and this really is attracting a lot of interest in the Manono project and the opportunity that it can feed into. Before we dive in as well, as you guys know, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing we discuss on the channel is financial advice. The stocks we cover are not buy recommendations. These videos are just here as that general discussion to be a starting spot for you to do your own research from. And so drilling a bit further down into the Manono project, they have a 400 million ton resource. As mentioned, it is the world's largest undeveloped hard rock lithium deposit. The scale of it is absolutely massive. The recent DFS they conducted has a 4.5 million ton per annum throughput. However, they were considering a potential for 10 million ton per annum throughput. They eventually settled on the 4.5 million ton at that time. However, they are now potential discussions about expanding that, and we'll talk about how that's come to light later on in the video. Of course, as mentioned, there is a tin component of the project as well. It's not the key focus. The lithium project is the key focus. But if you are familiar with the tin prices, they have been rising rapidly over this past period, along with many of the other commodities. So of course, this is another interesting aspect that investors can consider. Along with that as well, with some updated discussions, AVZ Minerals have included the first half of a lithium hydroxide plant into their DFS2. If you look at Manono, where it's located, it's smack bang in the middle of Africa. Of course, transport infrastructure is different in comparison to some of the other more developed nations around the world. And so the smaller amount of volume that you have to put onto different rails or different roads, it will reduce costs and makes it a lot easier to transport things around. So being able to have a lithium hydroxide plant, or the first half of it, of course, will help to facilitate that. As we know as well, the further downstream you move, as you can add more value and capture more of the value chain within your project, it's going to improve potential profitability and of course, improve the economics surrounding the project as well. It's a fascinating proposition. I'd love to know your thoughts on it all. So drop in a comment below what you think about AVZ Minerals and how do you think it will feed into the broader EV battery material supply chain around the world. And so of course, we've talked about some of the high level specifics surrounding AVZ's Manono project. But you might be wondering, why is so much excitement building? Why has the price soared upwards towards that $2 billion market cap level? First and foremost, it's a top-tier world-class resource. Everybody's familiar with the tailwinds behind the lithium sector. We've done a range of videos on those on the channel, so you can check them out after this one. But of course, we know that there is a supply shortfall that's forecasted to continue to expand moving forward. EV demand continues to pick up pace as the adoption rises. So as a result of that, lithium, which of course is a core component of the batteries, is going to continue to rise as well. We know there hasn't been a huge amount of investment over the past couple of years after the bust in the lithium cycle. So as a result of that, suppliers are trying to bring on projects online as rapidly as possible, and this is contributing to that shortfall. But interestingly with AVZ, there's a range of different factors too. Firstly, the DRC government support for the project and the opportunity. Of course, we know Africa, it's a different condition, as is every region around the world. But African projects, of course, have got a range of different uncertainties that they have to navigate. But the AVZ Minerals team, they've got a wealth of experience specifically in the DRC. The DRC government's had some transitions and changes over this past period. This current government is really excited about the opportunity that EV battery materials could provide to the DRC government and the broader economy. Interestingly as well with AVZ Minerals, there's a hydropower opportunity. A deal's recently been announced, so they're going to be able to source hydropower to really fuel the majority of the project. This is a huge big tick. We know that manufacturers and producers around the world are looking to bring down the embodied energy of the products and the cars and vehicles that they're producing. And so if you can have a renewable energy fueled project, this of course is going to mean it's a much greener, more ESG focused project. And this is going to be a big tick for producers and manufacturers as they're looking to source the lithium. Along with that too, funding is in progress. We'll talk about the pathway towards that later in the video, but the debt burden has been reduced as well from the CATH investment, which we will speak about. But there's a range of different factors that are all converging at the moment, and it's attracting a lot of ASX investor interest into the AVZ Minerals story. And so if you are familiar with the AVZ Minerals journey, recently they brought on board a Cornerstone investor. Before this, AVZ Minerals owned 75% of the Manono Project, with the balance, the remaining quarter, being owned by the DRC government. As a result of this, they've recently taken on this Cornerstone investor. CATH will earn a 24% equity interest in Manono, which still leaves AVZ Minerals with a critical 51% ownership stake of that. CATH Energy Technologies has a global footprint. They will be funding development on a pro rata basis for their around about a quarter ownership of the Manono Project. And they're now working with AVZ Minerals to collaboratively evaluate a potential production expansion to up to 10 million tonnes per annum of throughput. Of course, we know that there's rising demand for the product. As a result of this, there are current offtake agreements in place, but there is an uplift opportunity, which CATH will be potentially able to feed into as well. But with the global footprint that CATH has, this is further validation of the AVZ Minerals opportunity. As well as that, of course, it reduces the debt burden. It helps to fund out the equity component of the funding that they need to bring the project online as well. So there's a range of different boxes that have been ticked by this Cornerstone investment. And so that brings us to the here and now. There are a range of different upcoming catalysts, and a lot of them really are on the near term. First and foremost, the mining license approvals, they're progressing. These will be critical. Investors are looking out for these, and of course, this will be a significant tick in the box if and when they are approved. Along with that as well, the potential expansion study opportunities with such a large resource, as mentioned, the world's largest undeveloped hard-rock lithium resource. As a result of that, the opportunity to continue to expand and feed into the global EV battery material supply chain is there, and investors will be looking for more announcements and news flow that come to light surrounding this moving forward. Currently, as we look to bring this video live, the DRC Business Forum is on the horizon. They will be discussing a range of things, but they'll be discussing battery materials and the supply chain in the Democratic Republic of Congo, but as well as the broader African supply chain as well. This is a UN-backed business forum. Of course, any news flow, any discussions, any policy or legislation discussions that come out of this could be formative for the AVZ Minerals story too. It is worth noting that the CATH deal has a couple of contingencies in place. Both are the license surrounding the mining license, as well as the collaboration agreement, which will be done in place with the DRC government. The collaboration agreement continues to move in the right direction as well. And so once these have been ticked off and the CATH deal falls into place, a range of different interesting opportunities open up. Funding will then be able to be finalised from the bankable feasibility study once all of these approvals are in place. And then ultimately, towards the back end of this year, over the next few months, FID will be able to be achieved, the final investment decision. And from there, AVZ Minerals will really be able to progress with their Manono project. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button. Feel free to share it out. This past period, we've interviewed a range of different ASX listed CEOs, both in the lithium sector, as well as the broader EV battery material supply chain. So we'll leave links to those videos that you can check out after this one. We make daily videos each and every day, so if you're new here, welcome. Make sure you've subscribed and turn your bell notifications on so you'll be updated every time we drop a new daily video. Hope you enjoyed this video. Keen to hear your thoughts on AVZ Minerals, so drop in a comment below. Thanks for joining us. For now, stay well and happy investing.